The youth of the Hereford business is the most critical aspect of any breed association.
They're building lifelong skills as far as animal husbandry and building their cattle herd.
The Hereford Association is extremely blessed to have Hyfa and the adult board and everybody else support the juniors in the way that they do.
From the Oregon mountains to Texas rangelands to the wintry plains of South Dakota, the Hereford story is a story of progress and the key to the future for farms and ranches across this great land. The proud breed with the white face dotting green pastures across America. Welcome to Hereford Country. The slogan, "Come home to Hereford," means a great deal to cattle producers. Hi, I'm Taylor Matheny, and this is my home surrounded by Hereford cattle. My life, like the lives of many other kids in rural America, has been shaped in countless ways by the Hereford breed. I owe much of who I am today to the Hereford Youth Foundation of America and the National Junior Hereford Association. Both help future leaders with scholarship, leadership, and education by providing programs that showcase junior talents and develop professional skills. We'll share with you stories from leaders of all ages who practice those lessons daily, like this story featuring a multi-generational Hereford family from New Mexico.
So I've been raising Hereford cows since 1968 of my own, and my family had Hereford cows before that, and it's been good to our family and we've always enjoyed it. So
it's the Bill King Ranch. My dad's the big boss, I call him. I do the record keeping and the books for the ranch. The kids help out with checking cows and the show part of it. And my husband sells a lot of the bulls, and he does the embryo and AI.
We're really proud of our Hereford cattle. Got a pretty good clientele that buys bulls from us every year. Of course, in New Mexico, we got lots of really big ranches that run several thousand head of commercial cows. And I market Hereford bulls to mostly to New Mexico big ranches. These Hereford cattle will adapt to just about any country. I sell cattle into just some of the most horrible desert-looking country in the Southwest. You know, we ship them up to 10,000 feet up in the mountains or just out in the desert. And these big-footed, correct, made, you know, just easy fleshing kind of cattle, they will get out there and hustle and breed. Those bulls will breed cows all summer long, and they seem to perform everywhere. And right now, the way this deal's going, there's a big push for locally raised and processed beef. It gives people more security.
I've always wanted to sell beef to restaurants or at grocery stores, whatever. I finally got a USDA butcher in town, so I make deliveries to customers, but there's a local farmer's market. They're called Schwebox Farm, and they let me put a freezer in their farmer's market, and they're famous for their sweet corn, and we're becoming famous for our beef. My entire family, we've just always been taught public service, taking care of your community, and thinking of others instead of yourself all the time. It's a nice way to live.
Grandfather King, he was a great person to be involved in all community activities, the church, the whatever association, and I think that's what caused my father to be so adamant about being in civic opportunities and things. And then my father was actually the Speaker of the House of Representatives here in New Mexico and the Governor of New Mexico. So his theory always was you can learn something from everybody, you just stop and talk to them and listen for a little while. And so I think that's why we got involved in the Junior Hereford Association. I started taking my 3 daughters when they were young, and Becky worked through the Junior Hereford Association, got elected director, and then I was lucky enough to serve on the Hereford board, and now Becky serves on the Hereford board of directors, and Abby's on the junior board of directors. So we've been several generations of learning leadership and qualities that the Junior Hereford Association teaches.
We are very proud of Abby, all of us. When she was a little girl, she was very shy, She had a hard time even saying hello to people, and just over the years through the 4-H and Hereford Association and FFA, she's become more confident in herself.
It's definitely super cool for both of us to have worn maroon jackets and get to grow up in the Hereford breed and serve all the junior members. It's really shaped me as a person. I mean, we're crazy busy all the time, conference calls, board meetings, trying to accommodate to all of our 4,000 members and try to make our JNHE the best show possible, offer leadership events, all kinds of stuff, everything we can do. We come up with new ideas all the time. And it's really cool how it shapes you into being a better person, a better leader. Teaches you about how to communicate with people, how to get a job, and how to be successful in whatever it is you want to do. The Hereford Association is extremely blessed to have Hyfa and the adult board and everybody else just support the juniors in the way that they do. They give out hundreds of thousands of dollars of scholarships every year, and I've been a recipient of a few of those, but it makes a huge difference in the lives of kids, difference people don't even realize.
I think the Hereford breed is just at a great point right now as far as the beef side of the business. We're in a good position just to continue to sell bulls and continue to grow demand for Herefords across the country. As far as the Junior Association, I think that if the kids take advantage of every opportunity that they can, options are limitless.
You know, we're seeing changes in the purebred business, we're seeing changes in the cattle business, but I'm certain that the philosophy that I grew up with and I hope my children have and that my father had was you just have to keep adapting and with what's going on and try to survive.
The Hereford breed, first brought to the United States in 1817, is a family-focused breed. The Weber family of Kansas chose Herefords because of the breed's gentle disposition and opportunities made available through the National Junior Hereford Association.
Tammy and I bought this place in 2011 when we moved here to Manhattan, and one of our objectives was to really have a spot where we could raise some Hereford cattle and raise our kids and them have some of the same experiences that Tammy and I did growing up in terms of being involved with the Junior Hereford Association and getting to be around the breeding and raising of livestock.
Our kids are fourth generation now Hereford breeders. Hereford cattle were an integral part of my growing up. I've been in the Junior Hereford Association, involved in it my whole life. And Bob and I both felt like that was going to be a very important part of our kids' lives as well.
I really like working with my family. Like some kids, they just do sports and that's just more them, but in showing cattle, it's kind of the whole family pitches in with everything and we all help each other out in the barn.
Usually we all split up the same amount of work and everyone does a little piece of everything. And then that way it gets done pretty quickly.
We always tell them that they are on a team together. They all have the same end goal. All the cattle are registered in all their names so that each one of them has a stake in taking care of those cattle.
I think that helps both in the sort of the teamwork part, but it also helps in showmanship, right? Every kid's got to be able to show every heifer and build the skill set to be able to adapt between different animals.
So Maddie is our oldest, she's 14. She does a great job with younger kids, always jumping in to help them at our county fair and that kind of thing. Cooper's 11. We call him the cow whisperer. He gets them all just absolutely as gentle as possible. Wyatt is our youngest. He's 9 and he's a workhorse and he just kind of jumps in and gets the job done. Each of them has their own set of skills, but they all work together and they make a really good team together. It's not always harmonious. We have our moments, but we're making great memories together, and I think that's my favorite part of it.
We see the Hereford Association and junior activities as really a central part of our children's development and education. So being engaged in a variety of the contests and activities that happen throughout the year helps build their character and skill set. But moving forward, they'll merge into to leadership roles in those organizations, and so they'll learn how to be a board member and learn how to take leadership sort of in a formal way. We stress a lot of the informal leadership of helping others and being engaged with their peers and that sort of thing. Yeah, that's maybe one of the most rewarding parts as a parent, is seeing your kid recognize the need for somebody's to assist them, and then being able and have the confidence to step in and do that. It's really a great experience.
They all come together and watch out for each other, and I think there's just not that many activities where you're gonna find kids that old that are gonna come alongside the younger kids and just look out for them and take care of them like that, other than in the Hereford group. The leadership development that the Junior Hereford Association has is second to none. They're building lifelong skills as far as animal husbandry, learning to pick out good cattle, and building their cattle herd. It's not just about the show ring. They keep all of their heifers that they show, and then they help make the breeding decisions.
You get to help with the calving, and you get to help improve the mom, and you get to see how the calf grows.
Junior Hereford activities help fund both Tammy and I's college education, and so that scholarship program at the Junior Hereford Association is a really valuable part of the development of the nation's next leaders in agriculture.
Herefords have made great strides in genetic improvement. They're easier calving than ever before, yet possess the growth and marbling the beef industry needs to stay competitive. The Hereford breed has long been a staple in the Lone Star State, where the breed's adaptability has made it a favorite of ranchers there, many of whom have invested in the Hereford Youth Foundation of America.
Herefords and Texas go together hand in hand. All over Texas still is. Anywhere you go, and you will find a Hereford bull and a Hereford cow somewhere, and they'll be thriving. GKB started with Gary and Kathy Buckholtz. They've been in the cow business their whole life. Kathy is a fourth generation Hereford breeder. Hereford genetics have been here at GKB since the late 80s. We have a lot of bull customers come in and want the genomics, and they want to know how these things are going to grade out, and they want to know some of that ahead of time, and that's really helped at the Hereford Association to where we're doing more and more data collection and utilization. Both Gary and Kathy have always believed in cow families, and we'll continue to have cows that get to 10, 12 years old and still be productive, and those cows also send bulls out into the world that get older in age and still do their work.
Agriculture as a whole in the United States has been a generational type of business. I'm a fourth generation born and raised Hereford breeder, and I know I appreciated everything that I gained from the Junior Association, and that really opened my horizons on social skills, leadership in particular, and being exposed to another level of the agricultural industry, specifically beef and Herefords, that otherwise I would not have been exposed to if I would have just stayed on the ranch where I was raised.
I've been in the cattle business all my life, and I come up through the youth program. We as Hereford breeders have got to keep the youth in mind, keep the beef industry in mind, and how we can make our generation this time, make them better for the generations to come. Because our other leaders have done that for us. We have got to do that for them.
The future, the NJHA, we think will be strong, and we also think that it will continue to be multi-generational. There are still Hereford families in America that they will continue to go back to the Hereford breed, and we know it's benefiting the young people, whether they're in college or they're a 6 or 5 year old. We definitely see it.
The proof is in the pudding. When you watch it and you see it, how to work with people, how these kids come up and shake your hand and look you in the eye because they've come out of junior programs. Their grandpa was, their dad was, and the Hereford Association has been so family oriented for all these years, and that's what's made them so special.
And that's why we support it, because it's important to our future of the Hereford breed and the future of the beef industry.
We're all working for the same breed, and we're all pushing to get a product that's going to work and it's going to last and it's going to have continued growth. Here at GKB, we're definitely pushing to provide a product for bull buyers, for heifer buyers, for 4-H kids and FFA kids, and we also market show heifers for the junior program. And here we all do believe that the youth is the future of any of this agriculture and our ranching and farming, and it's important that those kids get the opportunity to do that.
In spite of all of the challenges of 2020, Hereford youth gathered this summer at the VitaFirm Junior National Hereford Expo, one of the industry's biggest stages. But it was much more than a cattle show. It was the strength of rural America on display and the commitment of the Hereford breed to the next generation.
And what brings you here today?
To show my heifer Gertrude at Junior Hereford Nationals.
Okay. And how did it go?
Good. I got last place, but I'm going to try again next year to get first.
We are at the Junior National Hereford Expo here in Kansas City, and we have had an outstanding event for the National Junior Hereford Association members and their families from across the country.
There was a lot of days where I didn't know if we were going to get to do this, and I was certainly looking forward to it, but I know I wasn't looking forward to it near as much as these exhibitors that had been working for months.
At the American Hereford Association, we're very proud of our youth program, and as we said, there's a lot of effort that goes into this Junior National Hereford Expo. But the program in of itself creates all kinds of opportunities.
The junior program for me, I think, has really changed the person that I am in a lot of ways. When I started as a junior in this program, I was a very timid, quiet person. I wasn't always confident in who I am and talking with people and just really being authentically myself. And it changed my confidence. It gave me the confidence to do other things in my life that I never would have been able to do before.
My times as a junior really laid the foundation for who I am, honestly. I mean, you know, it's really, really competitive. You'll see the quality of cattle that come to the ring today is extremely competitive. And I mean, everybody pushes each other to get better. I think what sets the Hereford breed apart is, you know, relative to other breeds, you'll have show cattle and then you have breeding cattle. The breeders have done an excellent job of making cattle that can show and look the part in the show ring, but at the same time they perform very well when they're not show cattle.
The improvements that the breed in general has made is astonishing. I can say this with 100% certainty that there's cattle that were 5th, 6th, 7th in class today that could have won this thing easy, you know, 10 to 15 years ago. And it's a pretty big testament to the breed to be able to bring this kind of quality on a year like this.
This junior association is governed by a board of 12 youth from around the country, and so these folks get to come and take part and learn how to lead and be mentors to others that are younger, and not just a cattle show, it's a great opportunity to participate in any kind of a function that you like. Prepare yourselves for the future and become good leaders.
I learned a lot. You know, you're working on your animals every day and putting a lot of effort towards that, you know, I feel like in my career now that it helped build me to, you know, working hard and being noticed and being able to advance, because not afraid to put a lot of work into it, because that's what you have to do if you want to be successful showing cattle.
And so I think that I owe a lot to this program because it's really given me confidence in myself. It's changed the way that I view my ability to affect other people and to influence other people. And I think that it has that to offer for a lot of people.
My Hereford story began at a young age, like so many other youth across America. And today, the career path I'm on wouldn't be possible without the Hereford Youth Foundation of America and the National Junior Hereford Association. Here's my family story.
Matheny Herefords is a family operation. I mean, it wouldn't happen without the input of everyone in our family. Austin and Taylor, the whole time they've grown up, they've been involved in our cattle operation. Whether it's calving cows or building fence or mowing pastures or anything that's done here, it's done family labor. And some of the best memories we have happened right here in this barn.
Growing up as a family here between my cousins and uncle, my grandparents, we all own Hereford cattle. It's part of our family. It's who we'll always be. Some people look at it as a job or a place of employment, where the right mindset to me is it's a career and a lifestyle and a dream come true.
So our family puts on a sale, my Uncle Charlie, at his facility. A group of breeders come together. We have the same goal to bring the best of our genetics to one location and give buyers from across the country the opportunity to buy those genetics. And we did sell some heifer calves today that'll hopefully go on to show at the Junior National next summer. And as Austin and I are now too old, it's really exciting, to see what those juniors are able to do with those projects. So hopefully they'll have success with those and juniors will get to start building their own operation.
Herefords are cattle that do so many good things from a production perspective, from an EPD perspective, just from a real world perspective. Hereford breeders are much like the cattle. They're resilient. They can take on anything. They can weather almost every storm, and that's why they've stayed as vibrant and as popular for over the course of time. They never waver or vary. They're so passionate and loyal to Hereford cattle, and they seem to pass that unique loyalty down each generation.
Growing up in the Hereford breed is probably, I would say, the best thing that ever happened to me. I gained so much from that I've carried on into my adult life. It may not always be easy or pretty. Sometimes it gets probably pretty ugly for all of us, when you're raising cattle and making a living in the agriculture business. But what you end up with will pay dividends.
Growing up here, my brother and I, we spent every summer working to get our heifers ready. And I think the first thing I learned through that is it takes hard work, and it's not something you can walk in the day before you go to a show and hope that it all turns out okay. So I think that just started me on the success that I knew if I wanted something, I was gonna have to work hard for it. My senior year of high school, I kind of sat down and made a plan when I wanted to become our state queen in 2015, so I could run for a national queen that same year. So 2015 in Kansas City, I ran for National Hereford Queen and I was crowned. My mom and dad were both on the junior board, and they talked about the fun they had serving the association, and I was so excited when my brother got on because he was a really kind of a quiet leader, but he was a really good leader. And so when he got on and then I was finally elected, I was like, this is really just a cool opportunity for us to work together and carry on our family legacy.
Each spring and fall, my sister and I both applied for the scholarships. Being an out-of-state student, going to university, tuition usually quite a bit higher than in-state students. And so with those scholarships, it helped me financially achieve my goals in graduating from Kansas State. And without those, my college debt load would have been higher than what it is, and I owe quite a bit to Hyfa and for all they've done. So as I continue my career and start my own Hereford herd, I would like to continue to give back to the Junior Association, help them financially in the future, and hopefully another youth member will look up to me and want to strive to be on the junior board and continue his Hereford operation, and one day help give back to the other junior members. And as we look in the future, get the ball rolling to where more and more kids will be involved and want to run for the junior board and want to be leaders of the future of the Hereford breed.
There's a girl in our state who I really want her to be National Hereford Queen one day, and I really hope that she'll be on the junior board one day. And so I think it's just important for me. I want to find those kids that are looking up to me, and I want to help them achieve their own goals and help them set those goals, but also find other juniors throughout the country and get them involved, because I think sometimes it can be intimidating to run for the board or run for National Queen, but you can really love working on the cattle, but also find ways to be involved, even if it's not on the junior board, state associations, go to Faces of Leadership, just so you can make those connections and friendships.
We learned that you need to give back, and that is also another thing that I've tried to do in my adult life. When our dad passed away a few years ago, we knew we wanted to do something different in Dad's memory. We knew that Dad would laugh and say, "No flowers, that's such a waste of money." And so Charlie really had the idea. I'll give credit to Charlie here. He said, let's do a scholarship in Dad's name. That would be something that Dad would want us to do that could live on. And so we did that.
My dad was unique in that he never met a young person that he didn't believe in. And he's influenced me greatly with that thought, and because the youth of our business, the Hereford business, is the most critical aspect of any breed association. I think with the American Hereford Association and the junior program there, that scholarships such as this will continue, because there's lots of people like me that understand the importance of supporting the Hereford Youth Foundation and supporting our future.
I think that the young people that we've got that are coming into the breed after leaving the junior program are going to help propel us to new heights. And I think Austin and Taylor both have a passion for the Hereford breed. They both have different skill sets that they bring. Taylor with the marketing, social media aspect, Austin, his work ethic and the work that he's willing to do, behind the scenes to make sure that things go well, whether it's breeding cows or calving cows or putting up hay. They're both integral parts to what we want to accomplish in the future, and I think that's to expand, to get bigger, to better serve our customers. And over the next 10 to 15 years, I think the possibilities are endless for us.
People across the country share a similar story. It's one of Hereford leadership. It's a legacy of hope and optimism, a bright spot for our country. We hope you enjoyed this journey across America, seeing commitment, education, and scholarship at work in daily life. If you'd like to learn more about how you can donate to the Hereford Youth Foundation of America, visit hereford.org. There, you'll also find ways to become involved in the National Junior Hereford Association. For Hereford Country, thanks for joining us.